In the order, it's Wednesday, November 1st, the time is 7 p.m. Please join me in the resolution. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, it's now time for your comments. If you'd like to come up and state your name for the record, keep it to 3 minutes or less. We'll go ahead and open it up for that period.
I'm gonna talk fast. He's here for backup, so I can't like my. Okay, so Jennifer Matthews, St. Helens. So a couple things. One, I listened to some of the meeting today and I actually reviewed the semi-annual report that was presented today. So, obviously this is about staffing detectives. As of today, we're down one detective. One of the things that I found extremely concerning more than anything else, and I hope everybody else did too, was the child abuse cases. That's new data I've never heard before. I had no idea, as I sit here today, I had no idea that it was that high. And I think it was stated almost an average of one every single day. That is horrifying that that's happening in our community here. But luckily we have the detectives. So I guess my concern with this, I can go on, is, man, we're down to one with all the criminal investigations and especially the child abuse cases. I really, really hope and pray that you guys are looking for something to come up with, getting another detective back in there so that we can continue, because that is just super scary at one a day for these kiddos. So we'd like to know what your plan is. Communication is important, so if you could help us with that. Also, we'd like you to, again, going back to council and government, the levy, please, I encourage you to look into that as a non-incurring, non-permanent tax, please, 4 years. I think the citizens could get behind it. And then also in the next day or two, I'll give you guys an email on other municipalities that actually have excess use fees for police departments that are responding to calls that are non-person crimes, like, like noise complaints, stuff like that. So not like rapes or things of that nature, that you can actually find the landlord. So maybe our second customer, that's something that can be considered in the future, since I'm not paying into it. So brainstorming outside, I'll give you a whole list of municipalities that do have that maybe you guys can consider as just another revenue source. And then also third, hopefully I get through it, the Halloween Town. I've been digging into that. We put a FOIA request in. I stand behind my comment. I've read through the emails and I've watched the videos. And again, I am really concerned, and my litmus test is would I defend the CCSO, and I would in the same exact case. I think that the way that this has been portrayed against our St. Helens police is just really ill-founded. There's been so many emails. I hope you guys read them. I look at the videos, but it's been said repeatedly that they were not the leading entity on this. They couldn't do the plan. And I'm more concerned on specifically the fact that a permit was provided. And in the email it says, in the permit application, we mentioned we have a security company working with us. At this point, we're mostly advising and have a small presence in the event. So we realize that Halloween Town's a big deal. It's a big deal for our county or our city here. But I also am concerned that if that was part of the permit process for the public security and the public safety, was that vetted out? And that certainly couldn't be enough if that was just an advising position and St. Helens was not on that permit. So again, I go back to, please, I urge you to look at the process for that, and maybe take a look at the opportunity to approve, because I still stand behind the fact that St. Helens, I think they did everything they possibly could, provide more bodies than they needed to. They were not the lead agency, so therefore they could not request the things that were being asked. I know that seems a little ambiguous because I a small amount in the 3 minutes. So I'm happy to answer the questions. I've also outlined responses on my Facebook page if you want to go back and look at it. But I don't think this one should just fall shy. I think this is a really good opportunity to improve for next year. Hopefully somebody does a different parade or something, but looking at those pitfalls to make sure the public safety is paramount. And I think this one slipped through the cracks. So I think I got it.
There are comments?
So I have to disagree with Jennifer.
For the record.
Oh, sorry. I think that the email that I have seen shows that they did reach out to the St. Helens Police. And that the police, were not interested really in doing, which is what you were told when Heather came here with her other board member. And that they were not interested in helping, and that at no point in time did they see the plan was developed by their person. And the OSP plan, and that, the police did not want to take that plan. They didn't respond about why they didn't want to take the plan. I don't know why. But that they didn't have to do the plan, that it was going to be provided for them, but they did need to be the person that says that we will be the lead person for the parade, and they weren't willing to do that. And I think that's about community policing. And I think that that is where our communication and the disconnect was, that this was not, like the police said, just another private event. This is an event that ended in a pumpkin lighting, which is a city event. And it was on the police chief to be a part of that event. And so that's why I disagree with that, way that it was handled. And I do think that there are some permitting issues that need to be resolved, which we talked about. And we think that the police should be part of that process at the very beginning. But I think that it was a lack of communication, not on the part of the planners, because I've seen the emails. We have several emails to them. When the police waited until late September, we would say, oh no, we can't do that. And they were requested in June. Clearly budgeting is a huge problem. Her suggestion, I do agree with, about a budget, about putting a levy out for police is a great idea. In fact, the budget committee voted on that, and it was unanimously voted on that we should in fact have a budget and put out a levy, which I thought we had voted was going to be this year. I don't see it. It's obviously not happening. I don't know what happened with that plan. The council, us 5 members of the budget voted for it as well, and it didn't happen. And I think we need it. And as I said, well, I disagree with the police station, and don't think that we need a police station, especially after we're taking what staffing. And we also voted to increase the fee specifically to fund the one unfunded police position. I understand it is still not there. And I don't understand how that happens when we vote on that position and then it doesn't get funded. And again, we're all there, you all voted for it. I think that we need to be funded, and we need probably more positions than that. We need like 3 more positions in addition to that one unfunded position. Thank you.
I just want to clarify for the record that the parade is not a Halloween Town event. It's not ran or organized by the city. So I just want to clarify that.
I know that, but it ends in it accumulates in an event that is run by the city.
The city doesn't organize it or is not affiliated with any of the planning for it. I just want to make sure that's
Right,
clear.
I'm aware of that.
Any other visitor comments? Come on.
Danny Maker. I just want to make a couple comments on a couple things the previous speaker said. I read the emails too. And that dialogue did start way back in June, and then the police finally said no on, I believe it's September 27th. But with all that aside, I think that instead of arguing over what's already happened and placing blame, I think it'd be the best bet if everybody just sat down that was involved in all this, start out fresh, say, this is what you're gonna do, this is what you gotta do, and then we can have it covered. But I also think that the money that the city's gonna spend on their new police station, which I don't agree with, but that's beside the point on the amount where it's at. I think it'd be more better spent if you took some of that money and started hiring more police officers. Because this isn't a thing about we hate the police or anything like that. But you know good and well, it takes at least 2 years to get police trained to be on the streets. And just kicking the can down the road on that, it's just gonna bubble up right at the end and you're gonna be in the same place you are right now, shorthanded. So I think it'd be imperative for the city council to start doing that and making the money for it. And my comment, and the same with the else too. Did the county, you probably won't answer me, but did the county contact you about the depletion fee that wasn't paid on the dirt that was hauled in on? Over there by, across from Johnny's Tavern?
I haven't had any communication on that.
Okay, well, I contacted him, so you should pretty soon. And you should make sure that you know that anything over 50 cubic yards in or out that comes in the county is subject to depletion fee. And that's owed to the county. Thank you.
Other visitor comments?
Me over. Good evening. I wasn't necessarily planning to talk, but, I just want to touch on the Halloween Town Parade again. I just want to make sure that the listeners, you guys know that the parade is a private event, the pumpkin lighting is a city event. I've seen emails, I read through them, the downtown, like, they understood that police officers would be down there eventually for the crowd control, but the parade was up to the parade organizers and, from my understanding, OSP and CCSO was in charge of that. For St. Helens to come and take over it, they would have been the ones on the permit, and then they would have had to take the lead, knocking off CCSO and OSP. They couldn't do that because we don't have staffing, we don't have the people. You heard the chief say, we had, 4 or 6 officers come in, and that was like, he was grateful for that. So again, like, to blame St. Helens Police Department for not being in the parade when they were there for the city part of it, and they were in for the parade, is just, it's frustrating. I think that they did do all that they could with the resources that they have. I think that people are not telling exactly the entire truth of what happened. They're blaming our police department, and I don't know why they're doing that. I feel like it's unfair and unjust. I think that they showed up. I mean, there was a lot of emails back and forth. I feel like they did what they could. And I think the lady needs to apologize, and I think we need not demonize St. Helens Police Department. I think that they go above and beyond for who we have right now. So again, I want to see them staffed. I want to see the positions filled. The detectives that's a huge thing to me personally. Like, we have to have detectives out there, and yeah, that's what I want to see. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Any other visitor comments?
Nina, with the Curry with tourism, I'm just back to get a little litmus test from our earlier question about doing a community event December the 9th and keeping the tent
We're
up.
gonna do that on action items.
Okay,
We didn't talk about it.
Yeah,
all right.
I gave a lot of thought,
Okay,
so we'll talk about it.
thank you.
Yeah.
I never know.
Okay, any other visitor comments? I'm not seeing any in the audience, so we're gonna go to Zoom. If you'd like to, please raise your hand to be recognized, and then we'll ask you to unmute yourself. I can't see Kathy.
Nicholas.
Yeah, Nicholas, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome, great. Thank you all for being here today. I just wanted to say I agree with your decision with reversing the planning commission's decision to not build a police station there. I do agree that we need a new police station, help with recruitment and retainment. I also want to give a big shout out to Tina and all of her efforts during this Halloween Town season. I know it was absolutely insane with the parade, the Nightmare on 4th Street, all of the tourists that we had. It was a headache for us individuals who live here in St. Helens, but in the end, it does cause a net benefit. One thing I do want to, I guess, raise concern with is the fact that we're going to be bringing on a full-time custodian. I understand that it may be a wash income-wise for the city with the budget, with the, paying these individuals. Also, it seems like they just brought on the contractor pretty recently. I think it's been about a month or so, rather than maybe having word of mouth or hearing people say things, rather than talking with that contractor individually to see if there's any shortcomings. Just to take someone's word for it just seems a little wrong. So I just wanted to kind of raise that concern. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
St. Pierre.
Okay, Adam, you wanna go ahead and unmute yourself?
Hello, Adam St. Pierre here. So I just want to make a comment on the the whole Halloween Town, the tourism thing, that's great. I think what it really comes down to is permitting. I saw a bunch of posts online about, alcohol being around, stuff like that, walking the streets, no real, oversight of that. The whole permitting issue. The emails I read about the parade, basically what it was is, they're like, why couldn't the police chief just sign his name to the permit? Well, in my world, as a professional, I have apprentices underneath me. I have to take full responsibility for all the work they do. Yeah, it's just a signature until it's not, until something goes wrong, then it's a liability issue. So I think we should be thankful for the chief for not just putting his name on that in case something did happen, because that would leave the city liable. I think there's a whole lot of issues on a whole lot of different permitting things. And, I think this is the third meeting in a row we've heard about it, whether it's the, extended parking that, some of the trailers are taking up, or some of the this or some of the that, the alcohol, consumption, and, people in the service industry are having people that are showing up in their restaurants that are just smashed. They're saying that they got the alcohol from the vendors at the, Halloween Town. So I think there's a lot of permitting issues that need to be addressed. And I just wanted to let that be known that, this is something we can learn from and move forward and, address those issues.
Thank you. Anybody else, Kathy?
No.
Okay, ordinance number 3297, an ordinance to amend the city of St. Helens comprehensive plan. Oh, this is the first reading, by the way. Ordinance number 3297, ordinance to amend the city of St. Helens comprehensive plan map for certain property from light industrial designation to general commercial designation, and zoning district map from light industrial zone to general commercial zone. Okay, on the resolution number 1994, resolution amending the AFSCME employee compensation plan for fiscal year 2023-2024 and add the custodian pay scale.
I move we adopt resolution number 1994 as read.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 1994. Just a little discussion on it, is that we've had continuing issues with custodial, cleaning our facilities for a long time, and it was pretty much a wash. And we have an employee that is accountable for the cleanliness of our police station, our library, our city hall, all of the above. So, any other discussion on it?
To kind of clarify on one of the concerns that was brought up was that we had just, I recall not long ago, just hiring a new contractor. So John, do you want to kind of speak to why we're back at the drawing board again quickly?
Well, it's really boils down to the contractor's ability to get somebody to approve our background check. We don't have yet people that are in secure facilities that have access to records, and they have a deeper standard for that background check. And that we've had some pass, but then they get other jobs and leave, and the system costs turnover. And it's not following the requirements of the job. So.
And the new employee would have a background check.
The new employee would have to meet all the requirements, yes.
Whatever happened to,
I'm sorry, but can you speak up a little bit? Because I know that it's not catching the.
We currently have 2 part-time people doing the work.
One's a contract and one's through the temporary service.
Services, we just set that up out of necessity to get our buildings clean. Those are still contracts that are out there, that if there's no need for them, then we won't use them. It's up to kind of thing.
so you'll advertise for this position then?
Right.
Good.
Yeah, this would be a position opening up soon.
I think that explains the reason why, we just talked about this not that long ago, and here we are kind of having to get a little bit more creative on how to fill that position.
Who's gonna be the oversight for that person?
We'll be back.
Yeah, through Public Works
Should be
and
back.
facilities maintenance.
Much tougher. Yep, so, okay, so I have a motion that's been made and seconded to approve resolution 1994. Council President Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Sundin.
Aye.
Counselor Gunderson.
Aye.
Counselor Hubbard. And I'm an aye as well. Approve and authorize for signature request for reconveyance for cap loan payoff for Olmsted property at 296 North Fourth Street.
That's a community action.
Yes, yes, I should have said that. Yes, community action team loan payoff.
Move we approve and authorize for signature, item 3 is read.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve and authorize for signature, the loan from payoff from the community action team. Council President Chilton,
Aye.
Councilor Sunday.
Aye.
Councilor Gunderson.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Consent agenda for approval, for council minutes dated September 14th, September 20th, October 20th, 2023. 5, amended custodian job description. 6, account payable bill list.
Move we,
You
waiting
all
for-
emotions, I like it.
look at everything I'm looking. I move we, approve consent agenda items 4, 5, and 6.
I'll second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to approve consent agenda for approval 4, 5, and 6. Council President Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Sunday.
Aye.
Councilor Gunderson. Aye. Councilor Hubbard. And I'm an aye as well. Work session items. So the tent was brought up earlier about leaving it up for the Christmas ships. And the only problem I thought about this, took it home and thought about it, you know, we have very limited parking this year and it blocks, it's a ginormous tent and it blocks a lot of view from clear up the street all the way down into the park. And of the Christmas ships. I mean, it's a great idea, absolutely wonderful idea, but to tear it down and set it back up is not cost effective. And that's just my, you know, we don't have another construction area open. There's a little bit of walking path for people to walk out on. So to serve our community better, I think we need to put the tent down for the Christmas ships.
Yeah, I was thinking along the same thing. I think it's a really great idea, and I think if we had a little bit more time to prep for it, that it might be something we can look at doing in the future. But I also have concerns about like, what would they be doing in there? How much would the tickets be? Would it have access to everybody? And so I just, you know, I think it'll take a little bit more planning and prepping to make that work. And of course, the congestion down here is not fun. And we're just getting some relief after Halloween Town, so I don't want more things going on down there that might cause more congestion for businesses and stuff down here.
I would also like, while we're talking about this, make that whole front row right there for wheelchair parking. People who maybe have to sit in their car to watch the front row on the Columbia View Park side. Of the parking there.
It's there now.
Yeah, so this basically, there's one spot there that's actually wheelchair accessible, but make them all wheel handicap for that event, so they can sit in their car and watch from their car if they can't get out. We're limited on. We talked to the county about, you know, freeing up some of those spots, and I think I'll try to reach out to them and see about, they can jockey some cars around that. For that event.
Most people park in the parking there to watch
Yeah.
the ships or
Yeah.
stand out there.
Yeah, but I've seen the pedestrians going down, and that's one thing about the big tent there, you won't see the ships.
Oh, yeah.
I would say if Adamir wants to bring one of the little buses, we could designate one spot to our seniors down there.
They would love that.
Yes,
A lot of them just don't come down here because it's
Yeah.
too difficult.
so we could reach out to some of those group homes too and see what else too, but yeah.
You have any other thoughts on the tent?
It was only one day, right, Tina?
Yeah, it was gonna be free, but it's fine. I mean, that's why I brought it forward.
Yeah,
Do we have any city?
and I figured that's why you brought it forward.
No, taking it
No,
down.
it's coming down.
But do we have any city property, city buildings that we could use in place of that
For,
for the pictures? Anything that's vacant right now, city owned that you could dress up that would work.
that's December 9th. No, typically he hangs out, Santa hangs up on the courthouse, right, steps. Yep, and then they have music playing in here,
Santa Claus is coming.
and they'll have the music in here with. It's okay.
And I know American Family Insurance also puts on a Christmas picture thing that's free and they use the rec center. And so there's already some things like that that are available.
Vital Bus,
What?
Vital Bus does it too for dogs.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the biggest takeaway from that, thank you for bringing that up, Tina, that was great, it was a good idea, but it's just not.
That's okay. Don't feel bad.
Biggest takeaway is, you give me a reminder to follow up with the county and we also need to put some, goes out Friday night, like what it does for, good night. For the Halloween time event, that the parking on that side will be handicap only
Like Christmas ships.
for Christmas ships, yep. That's December 9th. I'll reach out to Commissioner Garrett or Gruder or both and or even go next Wednesday and I'll put something ask. Okay, council reports. President Chilton.
I just had a few things that I wanted to talk about. So we went on a tour of Boise Cascade property, and that's the first time I'd ever been there in person, and I just couldn't believe how big it was. It was very big. So there's a lot to see, and there's a lot of St. Helens history there. So it just was a lot of soaking in and truly understanding what that property and what that riverfront area has meant to St. Helens throughout the years. So really eye-opening, and I just wanted to say I was very appreciative. I've had a few different citizens reach out to me with questions about what we're gonna do there and what kind of industry we're gonna bring, and a lot of questions about some of those plans and opportunities that we have. So I just want to tell them I'm very thankful for the questions, and I think that's how we expand knowledge, and that's how we get other ideas from the citizens. Is we can't think of everything up here, so it's important to ask questions instead of just, thinking that we're against everybody, because I'm an open book. I want to talk about stuff. So I really appreciate that people reaching out to me about that and giving me some ideas of things that I should be thinking about when we're looking at this. So thank you, and keep the questions coming. I also wanted to give a shout out to Public Works. The sidewalks have been completed between Sykes and Gable on Columbia. Now I can drive from McBride and back to work over there on Gable, and they're beautiful and safe. And I see moms pushing kids in strollers to school, and just a great use of the sidewalks. So very excited. I lived in St. Helens for 15 years, and I always wondered when they were going to do that road. It's a pretty dangerous road. So happy about that. And then I just wanted to give a little congrats to Lieutenant Hogue on his prestigious FBI award that he won today. Wow, that's super impressive. But I'm not surprised. We have some of the best in St. Helens. So shout out to St. Helens PD.
Thank you. Counselor Sundin?
All right. Excuse me. I didn't think I had that much, but the more I write down here, the more I came up with. But we didn't share our reports last time, but I did just want to report how much I enjoyed the League of Oregon Cities Conference in Eugene. Getting to be there with most of you. And I guess the big takeaway for me that I came away with is we're not alone in the challenges that we face, but also the good, the opportunities that we face as cities around the state. So looking forward to lots of great things in the future. Want to thank all those that were involved in successfully welcoming thousands of people into our community again for Halloween Town. I think, as normally happens, there's been a few hiccups that have come up, but I hope that we can learn from them and make it an even better event next year. Also enjoyed the CCSO trunk or treat activity this weekend, and spending some time in the city tent with Suzanne and Cameron and Rachel. Lots of happy kids there at that event, so that was a fun time. Also want to congratulate Lieutenant Hogue for his award. Again, not surprised. I've always been impressed by how he goes above and beyond for the community. And then also congratulate Officer Cutright and Jax for their first arrest as a team together. So hopefully the first of many. Not that I'm Not that I'm looking for lots of bad guys to be out running around, but I know they'll continue to do a good job together. There is a work party this Saturday at Nob Hill Nature Park. So if you've got some time this weekend and want to get in and pull some ivy and pull some weeds, that's going to be from 1 to 3. Parks and Trails Commission meeting will be held next week. And again, as always, if you are interested in getting involved, please consider joining a city board or commission, including the budget committee. I think the deadline for that closes November 17th. So great opportunity to get involved and have a voice in the things that are going on in the city. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Thanks. Gunderson.
I'll sound like a broken record. I also want to congratulate Lieutenant Hogue. I didn't get a chance to do that today or earlier in the session, as well as Officer Cutright and Jax. I also enjoyed the League of Oregon Cities, and it was kind of eye-opening and interesting. And just to let people know, I am going to pursue that levy to get that. I think that's I think the next time we can get that on the ballot is November. It's a ways out, but it's something planned, right? So I will be working on that.
From the planning commission.
No, we didn't have a meeting. Our next meeting is next week, the week after.
Yeah, all right. Councilor Hubbard.
I don't have, I'm still learning.
Okay.
And, you know, the library, I haven't even got my card yet, so.
Hey, you had some great questions with the tour and a lot of great insight at the tour of Boise and Cascade though.
Well, I'm excited about the process, and getting it as right as we can. It's a huge opportunity for a little town like this. And, there's a lot of work to do yet. We can make sure that if we do come together on it, then we're gonna be doing the right thing. And that's a huge project, and it's gonna have to, everybody's best to be involved on that. And I think one thing about it, the city needs to keep the public informed, you know, keep them up to speed of what we can. And keep putting stuff out there so they, you know, are not falling behind.
Yeah.
Because you don't want any negativity on that. It's not necessary.
So I would like you again, welcome. I mean, you have been really paying attention and grabbing a hold of this thing pretty fastly, because I've seen quite a few people come in to this position, and it's a lot different. You think you know government, once you get behind the scene, it's so much a lot more different. Than people don't realize.
Give me the business end of it.
Yeah.
I can get into that part.
So, but, and again, I'll segue into what you were just talking about, you know, with, American Hydrogen Solar, you know, we can talk on that. You know, we have, a letter of intent. We want to look at and see if it's gonna be feasible for them to build out here. That's all that letter of intent states. But we're also working with Business Oregon, Melanie there. We're working with CSET. We're working with the Governor's Regional Solution Team. We're working with PGE. We're working with the PUD. We're working diligently. Mohammed Zaire, I want to give a shout out to him because he has done a lot of work behind this. And me and John are constantly informed by him. I don't know if he sleeps. Sometimes I get a call at night. But yeah, I think that it is very continue to inform and be right out in the open with what we got going on. There's gonna be more to come just about other cities who've had mills and what they had to do in order to do and how far ahead we are of that. Hopefully, we can get somebody from Newburgh here to speak about what they had to do and to let council know how far ahead we already are in the process. So that shooting for maybe December, and we're hoping for sooner, but I don't know how that's working out. Paul Vogel's helping set that up a little bit with CSET. So, yeah, it takes a team effort. I mean, that's the thing, you know, there's no one person up here that has all the power. It's us, it's a we. you know, and it's collectively listening to you guys out there. Even our young adults who are here from Mr. Muson's class, welcome.
You guys got good
Yep,
ideas
yep,
too.
Yep, so, you know, so, yeah, I think that's, definitely, this is what this company is about too. They're very proud and, you know, they're doing it for the right reason, what I guess, so.
Don't leave the small business people.
Yeah, well, so we, and I did, I sat at Main Street, went to Main Street, and we were talking about that. And well, you know, industry does feed small business.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
So it's
so,
hand in
I
hand.
mean, that's what built a lot of these small little mom and pop stores was the big industries we had here. You know, so they could, you made 50 grand, which was a lot of money back in the day at Boise. You can go to mom and pop and spend $20 bill, which was a lot of money back then too, and didn't have to go shop in Portland to get a little bit better price. You just bought it local because you like supporting local. So, if you can afford it, I definitely would encourage you to definitely do that. But I understand that we all have budgets that we have to be accountable for too. So please shop local as much as you can. The dollars go further in the community. It's a ripple effect. So, yeah, you know, much has been said about the parade, and there's definitely a lot of people want to continue to see the parade happen. There were definitely some problems this year. I would rather move away from those problems and I see opportunities, you know, in the future of being able to work together and do it right. And that's been spoken about quite a bit here. So there's no reason we can't, you know, that's a huge influx of people. It's beneficial to our whole community, and they're gone within hours. It's a one-day event. So it's let work together and not point fingers at anybody, just collectively work together. We'll get there. So I have no problem. We should have no problem facilitating that if we need to. If it is a city event, as much as we want to say it's not a city event, it is. So it happens here in St. Helens.
So does the Kiwanis parade, but we don't take charge of that.
And I'm not saying we're taking charge of it.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying we can, well, I'm just saying we can facilitate it. So, you know, I mean, bottom line is they have to apply for permits through us. So part of what we're saying is not true. Okay, I'm not gonna get into the pointing fingers, because where I see problems, there's opportunities, and I wanna look for opportunities and move forward. So that being said, that's where I've been on that. A lot of again, still activity going on the waterfront, moving that forward. Talked a little bit about that with Cascade Legion. It's going to be a big blow to our finances, but we're still okay. We're not out of money. We're going to be able to move the waterfront forward. That project is funded by the urban renewal, so it's not coming out of our general budget. So just so everybody knows, we're not going to halt on production on that. That's going to continue forward. That's the way urban renewals are designed. Every city or county has them. Check them out. You're unfamiliar with them. So again, Gloria Butch gave us I'm glad to have her aboard. She is really a go-getter and is really diving in, and I feel very comfortable that she's not in any, she's just trying to make sense and show us and put us in good directions. So I feel really good. Feel free to, you know, any counselor, go up and make an appointment to meet with her and sit down and talk finances at any point in time. So, and I like her a lot. I've sat down with her a few times. So, let's see, yeah, congratulations, Lieutenant Hogue. I did congratulate you in person before our meeting, but it's a big deal. Be recognized by your peers at the FBI level and given an award. And Yeah, cut right, and his dog got somebody to give up, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, just, yeah, surrendered. So, yeah. Again, my hat's off to all the women and the men in our PD. They do an excellent job. That's not, we're definitely passionate about policing in our area. And, we do believe in the Second Amendment, so if you are a criminal, I would stay out of our area. So. That being said, hey, you guys have any questions for us? No? All right,
Are you
so,
falling asleep yet?
well, basically, I just want to give you, what I did here is we actually discussed a lot of this and we went over a packet and talked about a bunch of this stuff earlier in the day. So it looks like we just zipped through it, and we did tonight. But we actually get a packet, we get to read it, educate ourselves about it. Then when we have questions, we come into the work session and we ask questions of staff if we don't have the answer, or we can call throughout the week too, because we get it early. And I appreciate it when people do that because it makes our work session go a little bit faster. And then we go ahead and like the ordinance, I did a first reading. You have to do 2 readings on the ordinance in order for it to pass, so you can have public testimony and just make sure that it's a slow process. That's the way government works for checks and balances. And the resolution was just something that we can approve just like that, draw it up and have it in front of us. And if everybody agrees, it gets a 3 to 5 vote. It runs the city. So that's how we work here. I sit up here just leading this, fortunate and happy to, but I'm just one vote of 3 of running the city. So it takes 3 to 5 votes. So thank you guys for coming out. I hope you learned something here about civics and get involved. Your voice matters. Your voice matters. So that's what I can tell you. Get involved. So with that, we are adjourned.